Howdy folks, welcome back. I am the Tank Commander. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. That's right, today, Monday, May 25th, 2020, is the renowned Memorial Day here in the USA. It is the day where we all come together and give a salute to the fallen. We salute our fallen who fought and died for the peace of the world ever since our first wars with the American Revolution in the 1770s, all the way to wars in the Middle East and Afghanistan today. Before we get to anything, I want to say thank you all so much, my lovely, lovely viewers and subscribers, for showing that you are really interested in the content that I make. And that exemplifies by my video on the aftermath of the train wreck in East Aurora, New York, that just came out earlier this week. It was viewed 1,000 times. None of my videos had ever come anywhere close to that. All of you, give yourselves a big pat on the back for spreading the word about that. Especially to those in the local community who had never experienced something like this before in their lives. But now let's get back onto topic. Memorial Day. For any of you who didn't see my Memorial Day video last year, I encourage you to go look on my channel and find that video from last year. And also, I want to take a note. So many people have given their lives for freedom and everything else around the world for as long as we can remember wars going on. What I want everybody to do is, when you see this video, I want you to go in the comments section and I want you to put in someone in your family who went over and served, but never came back. I know that's hard for a lot of people. It's especially hard for me because I have someone who went over and never came back. But what I want you to do is I want you to go to the comments section and do the following. Put their name, their rank, and their rank is what they were in the armed forces. Now that does not mean job. I say that again, not job. You put their name, their rank. If you wish to put their serial number, if you know it, go right ahead. Put what conflict they were in, when they died, how they died, what branch of the armed forces they were in, and if you can, what battle they were in. I hope this will shed a light on those who are less familiar about the intricacies of this special day in America. And I'm going to finish it up by telling you a story about the relative that I have who died. His name was Edmund Edward Bonkowski. Edmund Edward Bukowski. Born on the 30th of October, 1911, in Buffalo, New York. My great-grandfather was one of his younger brothers. He was one of 10 children born between 1907 and the 1920s. That's a lot of kids for his mother, my great-great-grandmother Francisca, to punch out. He did some grammar school, and he was a factory worker. And then in 1942, he enlisted in the Army because of World War II breaking out. As far as I know, he was the only one out of those 10 kids who went to serve, voluntarily. As such, he went through the armed forces, and I should have you know, he was a football player. That is why, because he was 6 feet 4 inches tall. Now, it is disputed. Some sources say he was 5'11", some say he was 6'2". My relatives, including his godson, my granduncle, said he was 6'4". because being tall runs in my father's side of the family, which is the bloodline. I take my mother's side, which is being short. He went to serve, and he officially got the rank as Private First Class, and he was officially attached to the independent 716th Tank Battalion, which was attached to the, if I recall, it was the 16th Infantry Division in the Pacific Theater. I'm not going to bother checking about this because that is not relevant to this video. And because of his size, even though with his rank, he was made the commander of an M4A3 Sherman medium tank. And his first call of action was the Philippines, landing at Lingayen Gulf on Luzon, the main island of the Philippines, on January 9th of 1945. 2 days later, his column of 5 Sherman tanks were sent out towards Urdaneta City on the Urdaneta Highway towards the capital city of Manila. Little did he know, Japanese medium tanks of the type called the Type 97 Shinhoto Chiha were waiting in ambush in a mango grove along the highway. This was the most updated Japanese tank that could kill American tanks. But they had to get within point-blank range in order to secure the kill. What happened? As the column of 5 tanks started rolling up, the commander of the Japanese tank gave the order to open fire. Out of the first or second tank in the column, Edmund's tank took a direct hit in the side, which caused the ammunition to start cooking off. Over the course of the engagement, 3 Sherman tanks would be damaged and 1 would be destroyed. That tank that was destroyed was Edmund's tank, and these were those of the Alpha Company of the 716th Tank Battalion. Over the course of the engagement, his platoon sergeant, who was the head, was the one to knock out the 3 Japanese tanks, and he was awarded the Silver Star. My great-uncle was only awarded the Purple Heart because of what happened. With the engagement, he pushed every one of his crew members out of his tank while getting third-degree burns over 90% of a body, along with shrapnel in his skull, which fractured his skull, shrapnel in his arms, fractured arms, which happened to be the same spots where I broke my arm over a decade ago, which is a striking coincidence. Another striking coincidence was he had my traits of brown hair, brown eyes, that he took from his mother like I took from my mother. And also he had a fractured leg as well, including a lot of bleeding. After that battle, he was admitted to the field hospital on the Philippines, where he had to suffer for 11 agonizing days from January 17th to January 28th, when he officially passed away. He was awarded the Purple Heart for his being wounded in that action, and when the consequent letter got home, his father had already died 2 years before. When my great-great-grandmother heard the news, she was so broken-hearted. Her only son to go and serve. And then one of his several sisters stole his Purple Heart, and it's never been seen since. But this action upset me quite a bit. Hearing that his platoon sergeant got the Silver Star for his action. What about my great uncle? Pushing his crew out while under ambush, while basically killing himself. I've done those readings, and I've done the research. He should have gotten the frickin' Medal of Honor for that. And I've read the after-action report of that day, and I've read a book that shows more information about this. And I have personally chatted with my granduncle, and he's told me basically every single thing that has been validated. Also, I shall leave in the description the link to the video that I first saw that validated this. It is by a channel called Mark Felton Productions on the Second World War. That's not the whole thing, it's just Mark Felton Productions. I do encourage you to go look at his channel and subscribe to it to show your support for the incredible making of his videos. That video almost made me cry when I saw that. I will work on this, trying to get all this together, to make sure that my great-uncle's efforts will see to it that they get the proper honor they deserve, even if it's posthumous. But, everyone, I thank you all for watching this Memorial Day video, and I hereby end this by showing a picture of Edmund's supposed tank that I worked on creating a model for. And with that, I shall be playing Taps by the U.S. Regimental Army Band. And everyone, I thank you, and happy Memorial Day. The Tank Commander, out.